What is up, all my hope healers and hope dealers? Welcome to my YouTube channel, my PhD, my prison history diploma. I did 10 years and 8 months in Florida Department of Corrections, and I've been out for 17 years now. Yes, freedom is our birthright. Freedom is our birthright. Woo! Okay, so I am going to answer the most common asked question about incarceration. Do y'all have sex in prison? And I get asked this so many times. It doesn't matter what age, demographic, whatever. I'm telling you, it's literally one of the first questions that's asked me every time by people. So I'm going to tell y'all what it looks like, sexual activity during incarceration. So the top one is obviously inmates having sexual activity with their fellow inmates, not fellows, but their other female inmates. That absolutely is a big thing in prison. They build relationships. I have seen married women come in there, they're in love with their husbands, they've got kids, the whole 9 yards, and you give it a couple weeks, and boom, they are gay by the state. They meet some stud-looking woman that looks like a guy, and they are enthralled in a full-blown, loving lesbian relationship. There's several ways that inmates can have sex in there. They always had a lookout. As a matter of fact, in one of the prisons that I was at, in the dorm, I had the corner bunk that was up next to the wall. So it was just the front part of my bunk, and then the other part was up against a wall, which was ideal space for inmates to do their thing. Not on my bed, but underneath my bunk. And what I would do is throw my blanket over, and I would sit on my bunk while they would do their thing. And I would be their lookout. Of course, that was one of my side hustles. I did charge for use of the floor underneath my bunk and to be a lookout. Gotta have a side hustle. So I was often that lookout. When the officers are coming, you'll say something like, are we going to dinner? Or, some sort of thing to get them alert and let them know. You always come up with a safe word, whatever the cops are coming type of word, like cigarette or whatever, and that means shh, be quiet. The inmates never got caught doing their damn thing under my bunk, and I had no problem charging people to do their homosexing under my bunk. Another way that they had sex was obviously in the shower. It was a little bit more risky, because the cops can get there. The cop station's here, the showers are here, the cops can get there in a split second. The other way was in the bathroom area, because somebody would be on their knees while somebody else sat on the toilet. Obviously you would have a lookout for that. It was happening all the time. Also on the rec field, they would sit up against somewhere where there was a blind spot and do their thing. It wasn't unusual. There was a lot of fist fights because one girl liked another girl and It caused a lot of chaos, to be honest with y'all. Like, the homosexual activity was very emotional for every person involved in that relationship. Somebody always cheated on somebody, and it was just crazy. I never really saw any healthy relationships between two inmates. It was happening all the time, but it was always bickering and fighting and blah, blah, blah. It just got crazy. It always got crazy for some reason. The second way that inmates were able to be satisfied sexually was obviously with the guards. It was common practice. The guards definitely would pick out the girl, and boom, boom, they would be, in a sexual relationship. Now, it happened more often with the guards in the Miami prisons for some reason. I don't know why. I think down south, because they were a bit more redneck and a bit more egotistical in the prisons up in Miami. The guards seemed to be a bit more down to earth and just easier to communicate with, and kind of treated the inmates more like humans, versus down south they were kind of mean. So there, I worked maintenance at this one particular prison, and they had we had this room. It was off to the side in our maintenance department, and it had a mattress in there, and that was a very well-known spot for guards to bring their little girlfriends in there. And of course, we were the lookouts for the guards and the inmate while they did the damn thing. And you know, knowledge is power in there. So I really appreciated the fact that I knew who was doing what, and that allowed me to have favor granted for my marijuana distribution business that I had going on in there. It was a win-win. You know, plus they knew, I took pride in the fact that inmates knew they could trust me and guards knew that they could trust me. You know, I just wasn't one of those people that saw benefit in gossiping about it. I saw more of it being a benefit for me to not gossip about it at all. As a matter of fact, I had one super close homegirl who was having an affair with a sergeant that was married. She worked in the canteen. And me and my best friend Lori were the only ones that knew that this girl was having the affair with the sergeant. Because of her, we got to learn that we were going to be emergency UA'd for marijuana. One night, we did the best that we could to prepare for that test. We didn't pass. It was about 50 of us that they did the UAs on that night. We already knew it was going down, like I said, because of my homegirl having sex with the sergeant. But it was just super interesting. So she worked the canteen. When the canteen would shut down at night and she would be doing her counting or whatever of her inventory, he would come in there and they would have their fun. And of course, our homegirl would come back. I was in the dorm with her. She would come back glowing. We would get to hear all the wonderful details and live vicariously through this girl. The guy was hot, but he was married, and you know, there was no way that there was going to be an actual relationship between the two, but it definitely was beneficial, not only for her, but definitely for me and Lori. Once again, the dude looked out for us because of our homegirl that he was banging it out with. And then the third way that's going to surprise the ever-living HE double hockey stick out of y'all, which means hell, is going to surprise the hell out of y'all, is the vibrators that we had. Yes, yes, yes. Thank goodness for Braun Razor, folks. So you could order it off the canteen. It took a week or two to get there, but the Braun Razor was the top vibrator during incarceration. So the lifers introduced me to the Braun Razor, and what you do is you snap the head off, the razor part. You take the head off, and the thing that makes the head go, you know, in a vibrating fashion. The power behind the razor, you could use that as a vibrator on your spot, and that's how you were able to have a vibrator. Once again, you ordered it off a canteen, it came in, boom, you rip that head off, and then boom, you've got Bob, boyfriend on batteries. And as a matter of fact, like I said, I was introduced to that particular tool from the lifers, and then when I got shipped into a minimum security prison, I brought that fun fact with me, introduced everybody to Braun Razor, and I remember mine finally broke after like 5 years, and I had to order another one, and the line was like 30 people deep to go pick up their Braun Razors from the property room. And I will never forget, the property sergeant is like, my God, there's so many people ordering razors. Must be for the summer. And I'm thinking, yeah, no, it's for our pleasure. It was hilarious. And then, of course, the guards got turned on to the fact of what we were doing with those Braun Razors. Thank God they never stopped it from canteen. Hope they're still selling them now there. But those Braun Razors were my best friend. I definitely needed the Braun Razor. I mean, you're doing 10 years, for freak's sakes. You need some sort of satisfaction. And from my visual optical, from what I saw, having a girlfriend just wasn't worth the drama. So Braun Razor was drama free. Braun was very good to me, and you know, I would even recommend Braun in the free world, to be honest with you. But yeah, I mean, this is the facts, y'all. It goes on. I mean, it is a very sexually charged environment. You have to remember that prison is a city within a city. I mean, it is absolutely got your drama. I mean, if they put reality cameras in there, y'all would be entertained for sure, because there's a lot of shit that goes down that the free world does not know about. You know, thank goodness I'm free today, and I get to do what I want sexually, thank God. You know, but I can tell you, when I got out of incarceration, I was very intimidated to talk to men. So it took me a really long time to put myself in a position where I felt comfortable sexually to even have a boyfriend. I think it took me about 2 years. I just was so shy, y'all. I was not, because I was incarcerated at 18 and I got out at 29. You know, that's a long time in a young person's life to not have conversations with free world guys. So it was an intimidating experience when I got out. But yeah, there is my answer to the questions about sex in prison. You know, all my hope healers and hope dealers, by any stretch am I not perfect. I have a lot of shit going on in the background, which is why I don't do videos as frequent. My mom recently passed away January 15th, and that's a whole another video one day when I feel up to it. You know, she was the wind beneath my wings. My mom was my best friend, and she would approve of this video. As a matter of fact, she would laugh her face off. She came to see me often. She was my biggest cheerleader, and I'm so grateful that I have another angel in heaven. But to all my hope healers and hope dealers, I love all y'all, and I really hope this video made you laugh today. You know, I'm grateful to be free. I'm grateful to have a platform where I can speak to people, and I'm grateful that I am a shining example. I know I'm perfectly imperfect, but I am an example of people changing their lives and becoming a better person. And you know, it's a miracle for me, but this miracle just isn't for me. It is for every person that wants it. You know, part of life is, you know, life happens. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And I can say this with all sincerity, that the best way, and the way I think about free will, is how do I react to the things that happen. You know, like I said, there's a lot of stuff going on the back end, but my reaction to life situations is such a key to my life. Like, I always think about what is the lesson and what is the blessing in this, because there's always a lesson in everything. Even my incarceration was probably one of my greatest school life lessons. I personally believe that was my path, that was my journey, it was supposed to happen. So I can be ever so grateful for freedom, but I also can show people that it doesn't matter how rock bottom you hit, there's always a way out, and there's always a way back to the top. I get to live the best life that for me. And this miracle, again, it's not just for me, it's for everybody. You know, all my hope healers and hope dealers, if you're going through something right now at this very moment, I just want you to change the way you think about the situation. And I know it's painful. I've been through so many painful things in my life. And when I go through it, and I call it grow through it, when I jump that hurdle, because it's hurdles to me, and each hurdle I jump, my legs get stronger. But when I grow through a life situation, I really sincerely feel like that's a level up for me, you know, is how I handle things. And there's never, ever a place in my life where I don't have hope and faith that things are going to become better. And, you know, all I want to say to y'all is, if you're going through something right now, I promise you, it's just a matter of time before things get better. Hold on and put one foot in front of the other and take the action steps to just do something right, 1 second at a time. You know, even if it's, you know, smiling at somebody. I'm telling you, you know, life is such a great gift, and there's so many valuable lessons and gems in each situation. It's just up to me and you to look at where that gem is hidden at, because we are guided greatly by something greater than me. You know, I don't care if you call it God, higher power, whatever, universe, but there is a guidance, and it's an abundance of love, and there is so much success that we have yet to tap into. But it's just reaching out and doing the next right thing, and just keep your head above water and know that tomorrow, you can make tomorrow great. Today may not be great, but you can change it. You can change it at any minute and make any moment great. All my hope healers and hope dealers, enough rambling from me. Love y'all, and I am about to go do a hike. So have a good day, and love all y'all.